Hello and welcome to episode 327, guys. Right, for this video I've come to a venue I've not been for, I can't even remember, well over a year, maybe even upwards of 2 years, but Farlows, guys, back on the banks of Farlows. So last week I was pondering where I could go for my next session. I had a few venues in mind where I could go. So I kind of shortlisted 3 venues I'd not been to for a long time. Here, Festival Fishery in Somerset and Digger Lakes down in Devon. Thought I wouldn't mind visiting any of them, but I thought I couldn't make up my mind, so I actually put a poll on my Facebook page, on my fishing page, and I left it up to kind of you guys where I went next. And the poll was in favour of Farlows. So that's why I'm here. I might do Festival and Diggers next, but yeah, Farlows won the poll, so here I am. Right, so I did a lap of the lake. Also, you know, asked in the shop where's any particular areas of the lake that's fishing well at the moment. And they said to me in the shop that best areas to be at the moment is either Smelly Bank or Factory Bank. So it was a close choice between where I dropped my bucket, but yeah, Factory Bank was tempting because there was no one along Factory Bank whatsoever, so I thought that was nice and quiet. But when I got round here, I stood in the swim for a little while, kind of looked at the water, what was available to me. Saw that the winds are kind of blowing in this direction, and yeah, I made my mind up on this peg 40. So I've fished just a bit further up the bank before when I was here on a social with the lads. Yeah, it's not a bad swim. It's kind of got a nice bowl of water you can see in the far bank. We got the shop kind of almost dead opposite. This swim has 17 wraps of water to fish to, so a nice decent amount of water. So this swim kind of won my decision over the Factory Bank. Right, let's get set up, guys, and then yeah, let's go fishing. Right, guys, so to maximise my fishing time, because I don't want to waste any fishing time on a venue like this, which is always busy, constantly pressured. I don't want to waste any of the, you know, the 48 hours that I've got here by, you know, getting the bivvy up first, you know, getting comfortable and all that. The weather's mild, so I don't have to worry about having the bivvy up just yet. So to get fishing quickly, I'm getting the old trusty PVA bag bucket out again. I've got some pre-tied PVA bags, this time with barbed hooks as per fishery rules. So I always keep in my bucket a few barbless and a few barbed, so whatever venue I just turn up on, I'll always have a way of getting fishing quickly. So I don't know what baits are in these because obviously they're buried in the bag. So obviously PVA bags are a good way to have a little instant pile of bait and everything. And as you just see, just inject the bags with some oil for flavoured oil for extra flavour and boostiness and all that malarkey. So I've probably only been in the swim about half hour, guys, and I'm already making my first cast. So as we know, I've got 17 wraps. got the wind in my face a little bit, not a lot, but I'm basically, because it's PV bags, I'm just going to pub chuck them. I don't know what I've got out there at the moment as regards to substrate or weed or whatever. I'm just going to pub chuck and hope for the best. Once we've got the camp up, then I'll worry about, you know, maybe doing a bit of marker work and everything. But right, so I do. Got no idea what the range is. As I just said, it's just a pub chuck, just to get fish in. Right guys, third rod. I did the second rod off camera, which kind of just went dead straight out ahead really. This one's going to go slightly left, maybe kind of aiming towards peg 2 over there by the shop. Well, didn't go that left after all, but hey ho, it's a solid bag and it's fishing. That's it guys, 45 minutes or so after arriving in the swim, we are fishing on all 3 rods. Whether they're fishing effectively or not, I don't know, but they are fishing, and that's the point of always having PVA bags ready to go. Right, now the rods are out, now I can concentrate on getting the camp up, getting comfortable, and then let the PVA bags do their thing for a few hours, and then maybe we'll get the marker rod out and see what we actually have out there. Alright guys, so as you can see, camp is now set up. Yeah, the ground's quite hard and dry and gravelly, so I've not put a ground sheet in, but I've used me put me biv mat from Bespoke Angling Supplies in there, just so I've got something to put my feet on when I do have to swing my legs out of bed. Not really got much kit in me bivvy, just the essentials, because the van is parked right behind the camera, so really close, so all my kit I don't need. Rather than keeping it in the bivvy, I can literally put in the van, which is literally right behind the camera. So I can chill out now for a little while. Not even 1 o'clock yet, so I've already opened a can of Strongbow and a bag of pork scratchings just to have a little lunchtime snack. So yeah, we'll leave the PVA bags fishing for a little while, but from the sounds of it, I probably will have to do some marker up work. I went and briefly said hello to the guy in the next swim to my right, and he was saying it's really weedy in front of him. I did notice he was fishing helicopter rigs as well, because he was wrapping up at the time. So yeah, I noticed he had helicopter rigs on, so it could be a telltale sign of what I've got in front of me. But yeah, well, if it's only a little bit of weed, then I'm not worried too much, because you know, PVA bags will land on it and flatten it. If it's a lot of weed, then we're probably not fishing very effectively at the moment, but we'll find out soon enough when it's when I bring the rods back in and do some leading around work. But for now I've literally just finished getting everything set up and tidy, so for now I'm just gonna sit down, enjoy my can of cider and bag of pork scratchings, chill, enjoy the view, because you know, we've not been here for quite a while now, so yeah, so we'll just sit back, enjoy the view, chill, and then get active with a marker rod maybe in 2 or 3 hours time. Helicopter, really low. Electricity. Right, and guys, as you can see down by my feet, I've pulled my rods in. So the rods have been fishing for a few hours now, and obviously nothing has happened. So the marker rod has come out. I've took the float off, only got the lead on the end. I'm not interested in depths really, because I only really want to know depths if I know a lake I'm fishing on is particularly deep, and maybe I'm looking for shallower spots, or if I want to fish zigs and I want to know the depth of zigs. On this occasion, I'm not worried about depth because I know it's fairly uniform out there. So it's more, I just want the lead on just to look for spots, or to see if it's weed free or that kind of thing. So unlike in previous videos where I'll normally do a few casts off a camera to kind of get me range and get the feel, I haven't done that this time. This is generally my first cast. So as I've mentioned, this swim can go up to 17 wraps. So I've clipped this up at 17 wraps just to see what it's like at my maximum range. I don't know if I will fish that range because the wind is kind of coming at us from a kind of a 10 o'clock, 10:30 direction. So in theory, if the fish are on the wind, they're going to be more this side than that side. So, but anyway, right, so let's have a cast at the maximum range of me swim. Right, well, it didn't go down with a donk at all, so well, when I spoke to matey in Peg 41 earlier on, he said he had absolutely loads of weed. So much so, he's having to fish a helicopter rig. But I gotta be fair, guys, I was getting no weed at all. There we go, got a little bit of silkweed. That's it. So that would be roughly where my right hand rod's fishing. When I brought the rods in that was fishing on the PVA bags, it was the same again on that. There was hardly no weed. I think one rod had a tiny little bit on the hook, which I'm pretty sure was on the retrieve anyway, and one of the other rods had a slightly bit more. Again, it was all on the hook, so I'm pretty sure again it was on the retrieve. Right, so that would have been where my right hand rod will be fishing. Right, aim for that island, so this will be where the middle rod. Oh, that even went down with a bit of a thud. So it's certainly not heavy weed where that one landed. That's got my landing net handle. But that is coming back nice and easy, to be fair, guys. Right. Let's actually pull the lead back. all the way in just to see if we do hit any weed closer in. So far, I can tell we're not far out. Or maybe a little bit heavier. It's a slightly heavier silkweed closer in, but no thick heavy weed as in Canadian or, you know, other types of tall long weed. And I've got to be fair, I'd be happy to carry on fishing solid bugs or wafters or a pop-up over that amount of silkweed. Right, so let's aim for where the left arm rod will be fishing now, so roughly towards peg 2. If you can see that pylon in the distance there, guys, peg 2 is just kind of down the right hand side of that pylon, so dunk. Oh, again, that went down with a thud, so certainly at my maximum range, guys. Well, I've even got a bit of knock in there, so right, guys, that is good news. So basically, I don't have to worry about any solid weed. What? And look at that. That has actually come back completely clear of weed, that retrieve. So so that is good news. All right, let's do another cast, just that in the, towards the middle rod area, but shy of the 17 wrap range, just to see if I can get any solid donks closer in. Oh, don't know, that's I guess maybe 15-16 wraps. So chest is still playing me up at the moment. So if there's any coughing in this video like now, I apologise, guys, but my asthma is still playing me up at the moment, so I'm very chesty at the moment. Again, silkweed, absolute. So I am happy to fish either a wafter or a pop-up on a normal rig over that, rather than having to go down the route of setting up a helicopter rig or a choddy or something like that. I'm happy with that. Right, one more. So a bit closer in again towards the right hand rod area. Dunk. Yeah, that is actually going down with a bit. No problem whatsoever dragging that back, guys. So I think what we can gather from that is it's a solid bottom, no heavy weed, but just with a very light covering of silkweed. Again, hardly nothing on that time, very tiny. Right, that is good news. Right, so the solid bags were fishing effectively, in other words. But do I go back out on the solid bags, or do I put on lead clip rigs with some sort of Ronny rig or something like that, just to make sure that a hook bait is just sitting above that silkweed. Right guys, so we are all now re-rigged on all 3 rods. Took me about an hour to do to completely re-rig. So as I hinted earlier on, we'd probably go with Ronny rigs, and I have. So we got the Gemini booms, and on the end of that, the Ronny rig itself, the little little ESP sinker bead, that's just mounted on the where the boom is like fused to make the loop. Sits nicely on there, and it acts as a nice you know, the sinker for the bait. I'm sure it's a size 6 curved shank hook, micro barbed as per fishery rules, and then we got a 15mm Blitz pop up. Lead system is that new or newish Fox lead system. I think this is going to be my go-to lead system now, because it's so good. And I just, the idea behind it is, if you've not seen this before, like if the fish dumps the lead, the tubing stays with the lead clip. It's not attached to the tail rubber like conventional tail systems. It's mounted within the lead clip, so that when the lead dumps, the tail rubber travels up the tubing, and the tubing stays with the lead clip, so you've got all the safety aspect for the fish, you know, because traditional lead systems, you know, once a lead dumps, if a lead dumps, you know, it's attached to the tail rubber and then it travels up the line, so kind of you've got an amount of bare line then, which kind of defeats the object. So it's a really good lead system. I think it's going to be my go-to lead clip system now, to be fair. And then the lead, we got something a bit different. We got a reverse pear lead. I found these online from a company, I think it was called Trident Leads. I think the idea behind it is, you know, I think it's obvious really, but when a fish does pick up your rig, it picks up the heavy end of that lead first. So see it online, thought give it a try, and that's a 4-ounce lead. And then above, see, I've got a bead there, side mounted rubber bead, and I put that there just to stop, because I use back leads, and I use it just to stop the back lead from coming all the way down to here once we have a fish on. So the bead up there is just to stop the back lead travelling any further down once you have a fish on. Right, so that's how I'm fishing. Right guys, so as you can see, like I said, we've got 2 rods out already. 3rd and final rod. I forgot to mention before, we're going with or did I say? But we've got a Blitz pop up. Main reason, because it's brown in colour, so a bit more discreet for the bird life. There's quite a lot of bird life out there at the moment, and you know, I didn't really want to go with something pink or yellow or white or something that might be highly visible to the diving birds out there, and so we've gone with the old Blitz, because it's a brown hook bait, so a lot more discreet. And then in with a boat, we are going to put a scoop of well, it's the Blitz boilies, but I've kind of crumbed some of it. I've left some whole, some have been taken right down to a powder, so there's a bit of everything from a powder to a whole boilie, and then also there's a load of pellets mixed in with that as well. So nice, attractive, smelly mix. Oh, this gravelly ground isn't good for my old knees. Except putting the lid on the boat as well, because when the second rod went out, the swans come to investigate me boats. This one is going to go, well, it's my left hand rod, so we're going to stick with a kind of general direction that we'll cast them PVA bags to, and that's in the direction of towards peg 2. Like I said, I haven't done any distance or any wraps or anything on the bait boat. I'm just basically doing the bait boat version of a pub chuck, just kind of getting it to the distance I feel I want it, and then when we get there, just dropping it. As we know, I've already put the marker rod out, and we already know it's only silkweed we have to, or a small amount of silkweed that we have to deal with within my area. There we go, bombs away. Third and final rod fishing, guys. Right, so now we're into, what time is it now? We've got the rods out, 5 o'clock. So now that the rods are out, now that's it now for the night, unless any fish come along, guys. And if I do have any fish in the night, I won't use the bait boat. I'll just cast them back out, because I find using a bait boat at night a bit of a faff, to be honest with you guys. So essentially, guys, that is it for the evening now. So unless any fish come along, that is going to be all the filming for today. Right, guys, we'll take a quick break from the Farlows video to pick the winner for that Temu feeder rod setup that I did 2 videos ago. So as you can see, there was quite a few correct entries. So all these are going to go into me bucket of fate, otherwise known as Emma's laundry basket. Emma's holding the camera, by the way, behind the camera. Say hello, Emma.
Hello, Emma.
Right. So all the correct entries are going to go into the laundry basket, or the bucket of fate. Give it a little bit of a shake. Right. Do you want to pick one, Emma, or I'm going? Right. I'll do it so it's nice and fit. I'll reach in. Obviously, I can't see into the bucket. Right. We have the winner, guys, for that feeder rod, reel, bank stick, etc. feeders, and the winner is Paul Richards 6064. Right, so I'll give you a message on your comment to that video, and then hopefully you'll get in touch so I can get your price sent out to you. What I will do though, just in case Paul doesn't get in touch or doesn't reply, I'll pull a backup winner out the bucket just in case. So there we go. So if Paul doesn't get in touch, oh, we've got 2 out there. So the backup winner will be Adrian Mountjoy 8321. Right, that's that. Back to Farlows. Oh, good morning, everyone. And yeah, a very quiet night. So quiet, there wasn't a single bleep, or certainly nothing that woke me up in the night anyway. Went to bed about midnight. Woke up just before 7 o'clock with some cars coming past. I don't know if that was people coming or people going, but yeah, it's Friday morning, so yeah, So basically the start of, you know, the people who want to fish the weekend, like most of you do. You know, I mean, luckily in a job where my shifts mean I can do a lot of my fishing midweek. So, but yeah, I'm sure like 90% of you have like Monday to Friday jobs, and yeah, today's Friday, and from where I can see, there are a lot more people here on what I could see was the empty swims yesterday. Scott's, there's 2 people in it now, which was empty yesterday. Peg 3's got 2 people in it today, this morning. There's an empty peg to my left, which is a double peg, which I think someone's just turning up to go in it now. So yeah, the complex is filling up, which might be a good thing. It might get fish moving around if they've been static in one spot or another. But yeah, there hasn't been any fish in front of me. I'm almost ruined the decision that I come over here now instead of going on the factory bank, because I did see a couple of fish yesterday evening bosh right over there. But certainly in front of me, there's been absolutely nothing. I looked at the old weather last night, and we're in another period of high air pressure. It's pretty much for my session here, it's a constant 1027 millibars. And as you know, high pressure is never good for fishing. So like my last video at Coking Farm, that was high pressure. I managed 1 fish then, but at least then there was fish boshing and showing, which in this session there really hasn't been in front of me. So it's screaming zigs, but just can't do it on this lake. Right guys, so we are at lunchtime now on Friday, and as you can see, the rods have been wound in because that time came to go and visit the facilities, so had no choice but to wind in. Just got back to me swim, had to fill up my water container while I was around there as well anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to leave the rods out of the water now for a couple of hours. My thinking is maybe if I just rest the swim for a little while, keep the lines out of the water, maybe that'll keep the pressure off. And with the venue getting quite busy now, you know, with more lines in the water, factory bank is full now, there's more people on the kind of the point swim by the shop. So yeah, so maybe I'm thinking if fish are going to stay away from their lines, they might come to the area where there's no lines. I don't know if that will work or not, but it's worth a try, I say. So the rods have been in about an hour now from the time it took me to wind in, get to the shop, back, chat to a few people on the way, and talking and chatting to a few people on the way. Yesterday I said I had the dilemma of, do I pick factory bank because it was empty, or come round here because they said in the shop this was probably the better area to be. Of course I picked the wrong area to be, because I was chatting to the lad on the far end of the factory bank and he's had one. So yeah, so of course I picked the wrong area. It's always going to happen. But anyway, so once I'd visited the facilities, I popped into the Angling Direct shop just to get a few little bits of tackle that I needed to top up on. And then while I was in there, I bought something to completely change my baiting approach for when I do put the rods back out in a couple of hours time. So we're going to stick with the same rigs. Don't know if I'll stick with the same hook bait, but Someone did comment on our Facebook post when I was here, checked in here, saying if you're struggling, said try corn and maggots. Well, I haven't got neat corn with me, but I've got a bucket in my van with party blend in it with some corn mixed in. And as you can see in my hand, guys, I've got a maggot tub, and we have bought a couple of pints of maggots. So what I'm going to do with them, actually, in fact, what I do with them now is, before I use them, excuse me a minute guys while I'm just at a shop. There's no sawdust on them, so although Inders don't do the seafood anymore, the multi-mix, I'm going to just put a little bit just on the maggots, just so it kind of maybe flavours them up a bit. Oh, can't see me ugly head. So there we go. Let the maggots enjoy that. Stops them going sweaty anyway. Right, so what I would do later on, I would dig that bucket of particle out my van. So I will do a particle and maggot baiting approach when the rods go back out later. Right guys, so I was just about to get ready to get my rods out because we are now 3 o'clock. So that is about the 2 hours kind of rest time I said I was going to give me swim. But as I was kind of stood in my swim, kind of getting everything ready, one of the young bailiffs walked past, noticed the rigs on top of me bivvy, the PVA bag rigs that I put out yesterday, and said, oh, they're not allowed, mate, because of the fused part on the inner section. I said, oh, sorry, mate, I didn't know, but as it goes, I'm not using them. That was just what I cast out yesterday just to get fishing. I said, I'm fishing Ronny's now with a boom section. And he said, oh, they're not allowed either. I was like, aren't they? Why not? And again, it's because, so if I find one, so, oh, I've got two stuck together here, but he was saying, but because of the fused section here that makes the loops, he said, apparently, I've never had it happen, but he said, apparently, anglers have had them go here where and people have lost fish and left tackle in fish and what have you. I was like, oh, sorry mate, I didn't know. I said obviously I knew leaders and that were banned, which I'm not using, but yeah, so anything with a fused section, whether that be fused leaders, fused booms, fused inners, what I've got on the inline there, as he said, all that is banned here. So before anyone jumps on me because they've noticed I've used Gemini booms, I genuinely did not know that. So basically I am making up my own booms now. So I haven't used it for a long time, but I got some of the boom section, got me crimps out. So I've made one boom section so far, not got the hook on it. So I said yesterday I might do a low level Ronny. Well, this was an excuse now to do the low level Ronny. So there you go, low level Ronny swivel, and within that ESP tungsten bead there is a crimp in there. That's obviously, and then you can see that there's a crimp that's made the loop at that end. I've made that 7.5 inches long, so just gotta make 2 more of them, and then what I'll do while I'm at it, just because I will make 3 new hook sections to go on them as well. Right, so swivel, crimp, little loop, and then just double check that the crimps are aligned properly in the pliers. And squeeze. And there we go. So, yeah, so just when I was getting ready to get everything ready, guys, gotta go for a bit more faff. So, right, I'll get back to you when we are ready to get the rods back out. But yeah, I just thought I'd do this bit. I mean, I could have made the video without this section, but I just wanted to say, basically, before anyone jumps on me because I was using the Gemini fuse type booms, I didn't know. So she said anything which is tied or crimped is absolutely fine. So that's what we're doing. Right guys, so after that bit of delay in having to re-rig because of me boom sections, we are now almost ready to put the rods back out. So earlier on you saw me buy some maggots. So what I've done now, so there we go, there's the new boom section and a low level swivel, as I said before, so no ring, but there you go, there's the sort of one of the tactic changes there guys. Tip the older pop up with some 4 maggots, 2 reds, 2 white. You notice we've had a change in pop-up as well. We've changed from the Blitz to the Nut 365. Again, another tactic change because nothing's happened on the Blitz, which is a dark bait. I'm thinking something maybe a bit more visual might help. So that combined with the, you know, the sort of the creamy coloured pop-up in conjunction with the wiggly maggots on top, I'm hoping that might be a bit more of a winning combination. Right guys, and the third and kind of final kind of tactic change, and as well as the maggots, I've put that bucket of boilie crumb and pellet mix away, and I've got me bucket of particle out. So basically party blend with a lot of corn in there as well. So again, some a bit more visual with all the corn and sort of light coloured particle in that mix. So yeah, so we've had a complete change up really. Hook bait, baiting approach. So yeah, obviously we've only got tonight to go because I'll be packing up at lunchtime tomorrow. So let's hope a combination of these changes, or just one element of that, might help put a fish on the bank. Right guys, so about an hour later than originally planned after swim resting, we are now ready to get the rods back out. So right hand rod first, because that's just how I like to do things. So we'll put 2 scoops of the particle in, and then how much of the maggot? Handful. That looks like I've hardly took any out the tub. 2 handfuls. We'll save some in case we have to redo rods, etc. for because of possible captures, but 2 scoops of particle, 2 things of maggot. I think that'll do for now. Alright guys, in an effort to shorten the blog, I'm only going to film this one rod going out, but I mean, the main point is I've shown you how I wanted to fish and the tactic changes and whatnot. So that's veering to the right a bit. So yeah, the main point I wanted to make was just to show you that tactic changes. Oh, and now I've got the line stuck around the alarms. But yeah, so we'll only film this one rod going out, as we know, my blog's always too long as it is. Like I said, we're not clipped up or anything. We'll just go to what I think is roughly 14-15 wraps out, which is obviously well within right. That'll do, I think. Bombs away, and the rig is falling. So that's it then guys, we are now fishing for the second and final night. Shh, trying to film. Right guys, so as you can see to my left, all rods are now out. I've gone to roughly the same areas. I've kind of, you know, gone on to the same kind of directions as I had in my mind's eye of where the rods went yesterday. But again, because we haven't marked the line or set a distance, it's just kind of, as I said, the kind of bait boat version of a pub chuck. So I just drove it out to what I thought would be a good range and dropped up them points. Again, not as far as my 17 wrap, I guess maybe 15 wraps tops have gone out, but you know, I never like to fish to the maximum range when I'm in a swim. I always like to leave a bit of a buffer. But yeah, now the rods are out, let's rock. That was slightly askew. Can't have the eyes not being out of kilter. That's not very carpy. But so yeah, so back to the waiting game now, guys. So I've done the same. All 3 rods, kind of 2 scoops that particle, 2 handfuls of maggot. I've left enough maggot in the tub maybe for one more drop if I do have a fish this evening stroke tonight. So that's it. That's all the filming done now for this evening, guys, unless we have a fish, but fingers crossed. Well, good morning everybody, and obviously another quiet night with no fish. And I'll say it again, what I said yesterday. I knew when I had the options to pick certain areas, when you got a 50-50 choice of where to go, I just had a feeling I'd pick the wrong area, and after last night that was confirmed, because there was so many fish boshing out last night in front of Factory Bank. Those guys over there must have thought they was in an aquarium last night, because but it's full over there now, so no option to move over there. It's kicking myself. I've really almost dropped my bucket over there as well when I got here Thursday. Anyway, I did witness a fish capture yesterday. There's two lads who set up in the double swim to me left yesterday, and within about 3 hours the lad on the left side had a 37-12. So I saw that. Apparently he's quite famous as well. I don't know who he is because apparently he was on Love Island, but I don't watch that rubbish, so to me he's just another guy carp fishing. But his mate said he was on Love Island, someone called Luca Bish. Means nothing to me, but anyway, it was a nice fish, so well done to him. But anyway, it's just coming up to 8 o'clock. In fact, I think it is 8 o'clock now. But yeah, what made me jump up out of bed this morning was I had a liner on my left hand rod. Not had a bleep or anything the whole time I've been here. And then yeah, about 10 minutes ago, the bobbin on my left hand rod had a little jingle. Bobbin come up about 2 inches. I thought, here we go, last morning before we go home, 4 hours to go. Jumped out of bed and then that was it, nothing else happened. So yeah, but perhaps it was just a fish mooching around all that kind of better particle that I put out there. Who knows? Right, it is 8 o'clock. I've only got about 4 hours fishing left, guys, before I pack up. So I'm gonna have some breakfast, put away the stuff I don't need in the van, which, oh god, such a long trek to the van. But yeah, it's looking like at the moment, I'd say this one is going to be a blank, guys. Right guys, so I'm not quite at me 48 hours yet, probably about 46 hours in, but sometimes you just got to know when to knock it on the head, because you can just tell it's not going to happen. As I said, totally picked the wrong area. You know, when you have a 50-50 choice, I knew I'd picked the wrong 50, and sure enough, all the fish were showing up far end of Factory Bank. Like I said, with all the swims being full, it didn't give me any options to move over there. I don't think I've seen a single show in my little corridor of water. So yeah, just don't think I was on the fish. That with high air pressure, yeah, it's yeah, just yeah, I think that's the only reason I haven't caught. The fish just haven't been in front of me. So as you can see, we're down to just rods on the ground. So once the rods come in, that'll be game over. So if I remember rightly, I think that'll be 3 times in a row now Farlows will have defeated me. Just means I've got to come back some point and try again. I'd never say I'd never come back to this place because it is such an awesome fishery, but it can be a tricky water if you're not on the fish. or if the conditions aren't right or whatever. But anyway, yeah, calling it a day now. Like I say, someone's already bucketed the swim, ready to jump in after me. When they saw I was packing up, they've already gone, oh, yep, I'll have that swim after you. So, but yeah, that's it, guys. But thanks for watching my efforts anyway. I don't think I did anything wrong. I literally think the only thing that was wrong was that there was no fish in front of me. So that's it, and guys, I don't know where I'm going to be next. My next day's off from work. I'm actually going to be up in Durham, sort of Newcastle area, visiting relatives with the family for a few days. So I'm not going to be out for at least a couple more weeks yet. But wherever I do end up next, till then, tight lines, enjoy your fishing, and I'll see you next time, guys.